March 10th, 1992. Ring! Kelly answered the phone, and upon finding it was Jasper, not Dan, said, "Crystal, it's Jasper." "Thanks, Kelly." Crystal answered the phone, wondering if Jasper was going to accept his birthday present or reject it. Cheerfully, Crystal answered with, "Happy birthday, birthday boy." "Thank you. I don't feel any older. It's just another day." "Kelly tells me this is your dime. You were supposed to call me Colette." "Well, that's all right. Don't worry about that. Listen, the only reason I'm calling, it's about your letter. Crystal, don't take this wrong, but I don't think it's a good idea if you come down here. I'll tell you why. I have a girlfriend I'm dating, and she wouldn't take it very well. Does that upset you?" Crystal was stunned and very much hurt, but true to form and not wanting to hurt anyone else, she replied, "Oh, a little, but it's okay. I could sometime come up to visit you for a day or so." Crystal instantly realized that if she was in his girlfriend's position, she would not want her boyfriend seeing another girl, and to continue to be like a sister to him in theory was possible when all concerned were following the Lord and his way. But in reality, it didn't seem to work out without jealousy getting in the way, so she answered, "No, it's okay, Jasper. I mean, I'd like to meet you. It's just that if you come down here and you were here for a few days, it would cause a lot of trouble for me. And I hope that doesn't hurt your feelings. It's just the way it is." As Crystal tried to reply back to him, she couldn't help wondering why had Jasper chosen another girl over herself. She tried very hard to believe it was the Lord's will, but why would the Lord allow this to happen to her yet again? Rejected. Something awakened in Crystal that had never been there before. She wasn't jealous of the other girl because Jasper had chosen her above herself, but she wanted to know for the first time, why was she being rejected this time? The only thing she could think of was that could be the problem was the distance between them. So she asked, "So it's the distance between us that's the problem, is it, Jasper?" I'd say primarily," Jasper stammered. "Yeah, that's what I figured. You know, Crystal, please be sensible for a minute, okay? If marriage was in the future, distance wouldn't really matter. But marriage isn't in the future, not for me." "And yet you're still dating?" "Yeah, we're just friends. I told her that. I've got no plans on getting married, and if that bothers her, then she should go looking elsewhere. We're just companions, and I've got her studying the Bible and things from pilgrimage, and that's all there is to it." At this, Crystal began to feel very sorry for his new girlfriend. Would he do the same to her as he had done to herself? Say that he wasn't getting married, then ask her to marry him, then back out with some lame excuse? How could he feel justified in playing with people's emotions like that? Crystal had to try to get him to see he wasn't being fair in a loving way, so she reprimanded timidly. "Well, I don't know, Jasper. I guess I didn't really, the fact that you date kind of made me think that you say you want to be alone, you don't want to get married, but because you still date, it must mean you're not really serious, 100%. "Well, see, I know in my heart that very soon events are going to erase everyone's thoughts of that nature. So I've told her that, and she knows how I feel about the events and how we're moving along the highway of prophecy. She knows all that. And just last week, I even told her this right out. I said, 'Tammy, if there's a friend,' she knows a couple of guys down there. She's got male friends that she went to school with. that she just hangs around with, and they are just friends. And I said, listen, and one of them really likes her, but she won't go out with him. And I said, listen, Tammy, if you like this guy, go out with him. And if marriage is in the offing, then go for it. I've told you before, I'm telling you again, marriage is not in the cards for me. And I'll tell you the truth. In the spiritual capacity I've developed in understanding the Lord, I don't think he's going to change my hand. I think this is the hand that I was dealt, and I think this is the one that I've got to play. And I don't think there's going to be any redeals, and it's fine with me, because he's provided me with everything I need and everything I want, and that's another thing I have to ask you, Crystal. What's that? I mean, why do I want to get married? What can a wife give to me that I don't have except the marriage bed, relationship, which I don't really need and I don't want? Companionship? Huh? The companionship. My friends give me that. Okay. The Lord gives me that. Okay. And I mean, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about any wife. That's why I really mean that. Well, okay, all right. That's okay. Okay. And just like in the past, if this girl gets too serious, then I'll just end it. And she knows that too, because I've told her. You know what true love is, don't you? What's that? It's wanting everything for the other one and nothing for yourself. I don't think you're wanting everything for me and nothing for yourself. Well, no, because I mean, and you're wanting something for yourself and you're thinking that's what I want. And I don't think that you're being perfectly honest with yourself as far as wanting the best for me. Crystal became so shocked at Jasper's bombardment of beliefs that she could only reply, "It's probably just me, Jasper. I'm sorry." "I'm sure it is, Crystal. I'm sorry. But I must say, I'm afraid you become infatuated, and it's something that has happened to me before, too. But infatuation isn't love." "No, it's not. It's not. Infatuation is a selfish. It's not infatuation, Jasper. Believe me. It's okay. It's all right. I needed to hear this tonight." "All right. Well, listen, I love you. The Lord be with you. And if you want to stop here before you come down, just tell us what day you're going to be here, and I'll put aside some time. And I can visit with you and your family. I'd really enjoy that. We have had some fellowship and could really have a nice talk, and you'll probably get to see that I'm not everything you think I am." Crystal laughed nervously at how profound Jasper's last statement was. Here Jasper was misjudging her so unjustly, and she had thought so much of him. As it slowly began to dawn upon her that he was not everything she had thought him to be, but at the same time she still didn't want to hurt him as he had done to her. So she ended with, "I still hope you had a very happy birthday." "Well, I did. That's good. And now that I've gotten this straightened out, it's a little bit happier. All right? Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye." Crystal couldn't believe the Lord had given her that much grace to endure the hypocrisy she had just had to endure. How could anyone love the Lord with the definition of love as being all one-sided, never expecting anything in return? Even the Lord doesn't give us his love without expecting her to reciprocate it in return as best she could. How could she have been so blind not to see from the very beginning that Jasper was a fraud? Poor Tammy. And Tammy was just a new Christian. Would she weather the storm of Jasper White? Well, Crystal knew the shock of this would take some time from which to heal. Well, she no longer wanted to go and see Jasper White, but maybe Alex King would turn out to be a true blue Christian. As she was thinking this thought, the phone rang and she answered. Hello? Crystal? Yes, it's me, Dan. What's up? Well, I've just had a big, interesting conversation with Alex King. He intimated to me that it was all your fault what happened between you and Jasper. My fault? How? Oh, I didn't bother asking him, for I could see his point. The fact that you would be so quick to say yes to a man you hardly knew. I don't blame any guy for bailing out on you. But Alex is willing for us to come and visit with him, too. Well, you can tell Mr. King not to expect us, as I'm not going anywhere. Why not? I've had my fill of people misjudging me for one day. Thank you. Oh, you just don't like people telling you the truth. No, Dan, I love the truth, for Jesus is the truth. But I'm sick and tired of people telling me lies as if they are the truth. Good night, Dan. Crystal couldn't believe it. Alex King thought it was her fault, and he judged her without even finding out her side of the story. It was bad enough to have had to endure Jasper's turning the knife in the womb, but to be thoroughly bludgeoned by a perfect stranger, the stranger she had hoped would write to her in the first place, was too much for her to handle. Crystal lapsed into the depths of despair, out of which she wondered if she would ever come with her optimistic nature intact. Jasper's previous words of encouragement were now like daggers ever turning in the wound she now had in her soul. She prayed, asking the Lord to never let her be fooled into loving another wolf in sheep's clothing. Would she ever love again? Would she ever trust anyone again? Or had love finally been martyred out of her soul for good?